Hey everyone, welcome to Kraken Packs, and today we're here with 24-25 Upper Deck Series 1 hockey. So the hockey card collecting for 24-25 is officially underway. I know we already had 24-25 MVP, but let's be for real, that one doesn't really count. Flagship, though, is obviously one that matters. We're going to get our first batch of Young Guns for 24-25, and it's just nice to see another year of Flagship. So a couple things to talk about with Flagship this year. They've introduced some new controversial inserts that I want to talk about up front. Both the Young Gun Retro Outbursts and the Young Gun Renewed series. So let's talk about both of those real quick. Young Gun Renewed is just a reprint, basically, of some more popular Young Guns from various years, various star players, but with some refreshed artwork. So this one, to me, there's 50 in the set. You get 3 per hobby box. I think they look awesome. People are arguing online about whether or not they count as a real rookie card. Obviously, they don't count as a real rookie card, but that's not the point. Because for me, at least, collecting hockey cards, I just want cards that look good. And so having, an Alexander Ovechkin rookie card with some modern art that's freshened up to look nice, that's a card I'd love to have in my collection, even if it's not worth, close to the same as an actual OV Young Gun. The more controversial one, I think, is the Young Gun Retro Outbursts. So this is a list of 5 players, including Connor McDavid. Last year in 23-24 Series 1, Upper Deck introduced a new parallel to the Young Gun called the Outburst, and then a more limited version of the Outburst, Outburst Red, and an Outburst Gold. Beautiful cards, in my opinion. Very popular, it seemed, in the hobby. Everyone loves these. They look really nice. It's another, exclusive copy of a Young Gun, an actual rookie card that is valuable. So generally, the feedback seemed positive. Now, what they've done this year is they've taken some old Young Guns from years before last year, who existed before there was such a thing as an Outburst, and they've printed just the Outburst parallels. So, for example, Connor McDavid. In this set, there is a silver Outburst Young Gun, a red Outburst Young Gun, and a gold 1/1. 5 players, no stated odds, just it's said to be super short print, so I'm assuming we're not going to see one in this entire case that we're about to go through. But yeah, a lot of controversy online. The biggest complaint that people seem to be pointing out in the threads that I've read is that, they're just manufacturing rookie cards of old star players to try and make the set more expensive. Well, I got a couple opinions about that. Number one, as far as expensive goes, obviously last year, 23-24, Connor Bedard, Series 2 with his Young Gun, and then extended series with his Canvas Young Gun. Prices for Flagship were higher than we've ever seen them before, right? But if you look back to last year, 23-24 Series 1, which was the first time Upper Deck introduced this new format where you have 12 packs and 12 cards per pack, 3 inserts per pack rather than the one that they'd always had up until then. That was about $140-ish per box. Even some places were selling it a little higher than that when it first came out. And no Connor Bedard in that set, so it was just a standard Young Gun lineup. Well, this year, Connor Bedard out of the picture. Series 1, I got these boxes for $140 a box. So right back to the same exact price. Some places I've seen are selling them a little higher, but like I said, some places were selling 23-24 a little higher as well. But so this is not a matter of trying to increase the price. We're selling the set for the same price with or without these retro Young Guns, right? I think it's cool to be able to get an outburst of a player that you wouldn't have had the chance otherwise. We don't have to count them. If you say it's not a real rookie card, great, it's not a real rookie card. But that doesn't mean they're not fun cards to look at. Connor Bedard's gold 1/1, obviously everyone knows there's a bounty of $1 million. Well, don't expect the gold 1/1 Connor McDavid to also have a bounty of $1 million because, it is not a true rookie card. But I just think it's cool that because it's a nice card that didn't exist. So why not give us an opportunity to have one, even if it's not going to be worth the same amount? Anyway, that's my thoughts on these. I'd love to hear what you guys think. It can be, sometimes, you read a lot in certain forums online and everyone's very negative about everything. And then when you talk to, collectors that you meet in person, sometimes they're more positive about things. I've noticed even some of you leave comments on the channel where you seem to like things that, you read a lot of negative things about online. So I'm interested to hear if it's just me who thinks these are cool cards. Again, I'm not expecting them to break the bank. I'm not expecting to be a millionaire if I open the 101 Connor McDavid. I just think it's a cool card, and I'd love to have it. And at the end of the day, when we're collecting hockey cards, I think that's what's important. All right, all that out of the way. Not going to run through the insert sets. We'll just see them when they come in here, and we'll talk about each one as we go. But yeah, I mean, like I mentioned already, if you're new to this, there's going to be 12 packs in here, 12 cards per pack. We're going to get 6 Young Guns. Young Guns are the marquee rookie cards that we're looking for. And we're going to get 3 of those Young Gun renewed, like I said. And the other guarantees are not that exciting. Another thing I'll mention, if you're new to the hobby, you see a lot of cards these days, patches and autographs and things like that. Not really going to find those in Flagship Upper Deck. Sometimes there are some short printed autographs, snow sprays they call them. So we might see some unannounced in here, but they're very rare. And they're just basically a plain base card with an autograph. So pack number 1, let's take a look at what Flagship has for us this year. So this is going to be the first video of probably 4, because I'll do 3 boxes per. I have an entire case here. Yeah, but getting right into it. Okay, so this is what the base card looks like, and it looks like we already have an Outburst in our first pack here. This is what the base card looks like. Alex Vlasic, the Chicago Blackhawks. I like it. I've always been a fan of the kind of more minimalist designs, and that's a good one. Oh, and look at that. So we have an Arizona Coyote, but it says Utah down here. That was not announced, I don't think. I didn't see any word of that before opening this pack right now. So that's cool. I wonder if they'll do, like, in Seattle's expansion year, they had, in Series 2, they had a whole series of base cards dedicated to them in their Seattle jerseys. I wonder if they'll do the same thing with Utah later this season. Maybe they're just waiting for them to choose a real name for the team. What do we got here? Oh, it's Capitals. It looked like that got me all excited, that red text there, but actually I am curious a little bit why all these base card team names are on a black banner, but for some reason the Capitals are on a red banner. Not sure why. Let's see if we can figure out a pattern as we go. And here we go. Our first Outburst is a veteran Outburst. We're looking for Young Gun Outbursts more so than the veteran Outbursts, but that's Vince Dunn of the Seattle Kraken. Here's our first insert. So there is a gaming theme to the inserts for this set. At the end of the day, you know, if you've watched this channel before, you've seen me do Flagship products before. Some years I like these inserts better than others, but at the end of the day, you know, none of them are really ever worth anything. It's just a cool thing to collect if it appeals to you. So I guess if you're a video gamer this year, maybe you'll like these ones. I don't really see the relationship to video games other than just the words they use here, but anyway, here we go. PvP Draisaitl versus Kadri, and I think on the back it gives you a little blurb. So this game they played, Draisaitl had 4 points and Kadri had 3 goals. It doesn't tell you like what the score of the game was or if the game was relevant in any way. So I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. They could have made that insert a little cooler. Here we have City Satellites, Calgary Flames. So what I'll say about this one, I'm not from Calgary, so I don't recognize off the top of my head if that is a legitimate satellite view of Calgary. I think if it is, this is a pretty cool card. And I think if it's not, if that's just generated and has nothing to do with Calgary, then this is a total waste of space. And we're back to our base at the back here. And look at that. Maybe it's just these horizontal. No, look, there's a vertical one that has. So some of the team names are colored and some of them are on black borders, and I don't know why. Probably no reason. Probably just random. All right, pack number 2. It's yeah, another set where that font they used could have been a little easier to read, in my opinion. I still can't even see that. Zetterlund, I guess. Yeah, and then Ryan O'Reilly, Quinn Hughes. And here is our first Young Gun renewed, and it is Sidney Crosby. So this is what I'm talking about. Whatever you think the value of this card is going to be, don't care. That is a great looking card, and to me, seeing this, I want the whole set of these. I think these are cool. So I think if there's 3 per box, and there's 50. So let's think about this. With Young Guns, there's 6 per box, and there's 50 Young Guns. We usually end up with 1.5 sets throughout a case. So for these, there's still 50, and you only get 3 per box. So I guess you're looking like about 75% of the set in a case. But I think, for me at least, that's something I would want to collect. Here's our first Young Gun. So this is a look of what the 24-25 Young Guns look like. Overall, I think this one's okay. Again, same thing I said with the base set. I like kind of the more minimalist approach. I will say this one's like a little plain compared to some recent years, so maybe not my number 1 Young Gun of all time, but definitely better than some of the more elaborate ones that I think kind of take away from the card. Here's a checkpoint. So again, this is a video game themed insert. Vinny Desharnais. And our base at the back. All right, 2 packs in. So far, I'm feeling it. I think I like what I'm seeing at a flagship here. I'm going to skip over a lot of base cards because going through an entire case, we're going to be seeing a lot of base cards. Here is William Nylander, UD Canvas. So once again, Canvas is another set I like to collect personally, and I think they've done another good job. That's a nice looking card. Then we have a Breaking News with kind of that cracked ice type look to it. So that's an okay one, actually. I don't mind something a little more shiny in my base set. And Gaming Co-op. So I guess this is similar. So the PvP, 2 players on opposite teams. Co-op, 2 players on the same team. I'm not sure where they came up with these ratings for the players. But that's kind of neat. This is an okay one. And then back to the base. I guess actually maybe I'll keep a small eye on the base. Like I said in the MVP video, just be cool to see Connor Bedard's second year base card. It will be worth 1 penny, so it's not exciting, but just neat to see. And none of those are it. And here is our second Young Gun Renewed, and it is a Penguin again, and it's Ryan Whitney. So I'm going to put these all up here for now, just because I think they're nice enough looking to deserve it. And here's our second actual Young Gun, and it is Joshua Roy. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, our first UD portrait of 24-25 is Connor Bedard. Like I said, second year card at this point, and it's a very common insert in flagship, so don't get too excited about this card. I do have a comment here though, because if you have been a long-time viewer of the channel who has watched me open many years of flagship, you know that UD Portraits is one of my least favorite inserts of all time, and I normally complain about how hideous it is. I got to admit, this one's not so bad. Still not my favorite insert of all time, but it doesn't make me want to rip up the card violently. So, congratulations, Upper Deck, on making not the worst UD portrait. Okay, that out of the way. More base. Well, now we have a Canadiens blue. I think we saw a Canadiens red before too, so I don't know what they're doing with the banners here. Once we get them all side by side, see how they look. Till then, it doesn't really matter. Here is a really shiny insert, A-Lines. So for Edmonton, that is Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, and Hyman. I guess so. I mean, it is hard to imagine that Edmonton's A-line does not involve Connor McDavid, but okay. And then another gaming co-op. We have Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes. I will also mention all these inserts come in various parallels now. They never used to, but you gotta fill these packs with something when you're printing so many. So I guess parallels to inserts is their solution. And here's another city satellite, and it's Montreal, Cole Caulfield. I could believe that that is actually Montreal, so maybe this insert's a winner. And there's our base. And there's a Matt Duchene breaking news. I think this is our first gaming field of view, Tage Thompson. So very shiny inserts overall this year. Oh, and this is our first aimbots, Braden Point. And then we have more base. I also noticed that there are no honor roll this year, so that's interesting because that was another long-standing insert that was not very exciting, but you were always guaranteed a certain number of them per box. So interesting to see them do away with those. Gaming Co-op, Matty Beniers and Jared McCann. Here's our second UD canvas, Serengovich. And our best young gun so far, Jesper Wallstedt. If he ever turns out to be the goalie that Minnesota has advertised, then that's going to be a good one. Here is our first UD exclusive. It is unfortunately a base card. Kyle Connor, numbered something, 60, 90 to 100. 60 it looks like. So that's an okay one as well. Obviously, again, when you see your exclusives, you want to see them in young guns and not in veterans. But most excitingly, here is the young gun we're really hunting for in this set. It is Logan Stankoven. So this guy, great hockey player, probably the favorite for the Calder. I mean, maybe Celebrini, maybe someone wouldn't say he's the favorite, but he's at least one of the top contenders, and I think he has a bit of an advantage because he played a bunch of games last year. So that's a good one. And we got a checkpoint, William Borgen. And then back to base. I will say one thing I don't like about that colored border that they had on the base cards is now noticing this little UD exclusives. It's probably a little bit harder because you're used to seeing color down there already. And I mean the printing here is gold rather than silver like the base, but especially in these lights, it can be very tough to see that sort of thing. One thing I always appreciate about Flagship, though, is they have great packs. They're very easy to open, and they make a satisfying sound. And that is still true this year. Here it is. This must be a speckled parallel of the city satellites, because that looks very speckly, and none of the other ones did. It's Alex DeBrincat. And here's our fourth young gun. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Iskakov. Here's David Pasternak portrait. And then our base. 3 packs to go. We are still due one more renewed young gun. And 1 or 2 base. I've kind of lost count there. We have another speckled insert. This one is a gaming PvP. Nathan McKinnon and Dylan Larkin. And then we've got a base gaming PvP right behind it. Quentin Byfield and Trevor Zegras. What's going on here? Do I have multiple stacks of the same thing? No, I just put that guy in the wrong place. Here's our second aimbot. It is Matthew Tkachuk. I don't know, so I just noticed these percentages here. Does that mean his shooting percentage top left is 50% and top right is 15%? That seems to be what the same bot implies. Maybe teams are going to start using hockey cards as scouting reports. And here's our third canvas, Simon Nemec. And Logan Couture, Young Gun renewed. Love it. And you can see, so obviously Whitney and Crosby were Young Guns in the same year because that's the same style. But you can see with Couture, Couture here, totally different style of Young Gun because he was from a different year. But they still just replaced the background of the image with this cool artwork. I love it. And then here is Sam Colangelo, another base Young Gun. So still a couple other Young Guns, obviously, that we're going to like to see throughout this series. Not guys like Celebrini and Minchkov, who didn't play any games last year. So they won't be until at least Series 2 if they don't get pushed all the way to Extended. But there were some other carryovers, Cutter Gauthier, Lane Hudson, a few other guys that are going to be fun. Here's our Dazzler for the box. So not a huge fan of what they've done with the Dazzler this year. And Cale Makar canvas. And then Gaming XP, I think this is our first version of this insert. And I guess Noah Dobson is worth 6 XP. All right. That is it for box number 1. Let's get into box number 2. All right, box number 2. I guess let me clear out the these guys so I can use their easels again. I'm running out of places to put different types of inserts. We've got, right off the bat, Vladimir Tarasenko, Young Gun renewed. We've got a Matt Velada, Young Gun. Portrait of Sam Reinhart. And then some base. There's a John Tavares, breaking news. Gaming Field of View, Clayton Keller, captain of the Utah hockey team. And an Aimbots, Jared McCann. Oh, and here's our first clear cut. And once again, it is a veteran, so our Young Gun parallel luck hasn't hit just yet. We got Andrei Svechnikov, clear cut. There's a Ryan Reeves canvas, nice looking one there. And Emil Lilleberg, Young Guns. Still haven't seen Bedard's base, but I definitely might have missed it. It's hard to pay too close attention to the base cards. There's our second outburst. Again, a veteran, Bowen Byram. And here's a Gaming PvP, Jack Hughes and Jacob Trouba. City Satellites, New Jersey. That's the wrong Blackhawk. Oh, but here we have a very nice Blackhawk. Jonathan Taves, Young Gun renewed. We got Marshall Rafai. And a checkpoint of Cole Perfetti. About halfway through box 2 here. There's a canvas of Michael Backlund. We got an all-in. We got an A-Lines. Poker on the brain. DeBrincat, Larkin, and Lucas Raymond. I think I had one of these somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Gaming Co-op. McCann and Beniers. Pretty sure we have that one already. That's the wrong Blackhawk. Here's a sparkly City Satellites. Tampa Bay, Nikita Kucherov. Young Gun of Matt Rempe. Those of you who like the big tough guy. There is a Mitch Marner portrait. Boom. We've got another sparkly gaming PvP. Clayton Keller and Mason McTavish. And then a regular gaming PvP, Matty Beniers and Elias Pettersson. Mikko Rantanen, aimbot. And base. So yeah, looking pretty good, Series 1, I think. What you'd expect out of Flagship, with a few nice wrinkles, in my opinion. UD Canvas, Sergei Bobrovsky, and wow, look how nice that looks. Drew Doughty, Young Guns, renewed. I love it. And there is a Jan Kuznetsov, Young Guns. David Perron, new Ottawa Senator. Breaking news. Gaming Co-op. Matthews and Marner. And a portrait of Chris Kreider. Two packs left here. Probably still need a base Young Gun. Again, haven't really been counting. But we have the 3 renewed Young Guns that we should have from this pack, from this box. Oh, and we have a deluxe. That's really hard to notice, that one. I'm going to have to look back through that pile probably later. But I think you're supposed to get... no, I don't remember. I was going to say you're supposed to get 2 in a case, but that doesn't seem right. We'll see. There's a deluxe base. So all vets for all of our fancy parallels so far. We've got a Young Gun of Arshdeep Baines. Checkpoint Austin Watson. And last pack for box number 2. We have Shane Pinto, Dazzler. Nikita Kucherov canvas, and then 11 experience points for Sam Reinhart for some reason. That goes over here, and then just some final base to end that box. All right, I'm going to clear out some of this stuff and come back with box number 3. All right, last box for today. This will be our release day video, and then I will be back with 9 more boxes in the days and weeks to come. We got our Outburst right away again, and it is a young gun this time. James Malatesta, which I might have chosen a different young gun if I had the choice, but hey, at least it's not a vet. We'll add a 4th guy here for this. We got a gaming PvP, Mackenzie Hughes and Mackenzie Weegar and Quinn Hughes. Alex DeBrincat, I think we might have had already. City Satellites. And then base. So I said before, I didn't mind the young gun design this year. I think actually on the Outburst, it's a little worse. Maybe with the gold or red Outburst, it would be okay, but it's all gray and silver down there, and so I think it kind of washes it out in that plain silver Outburst. Here's our first renewed young gun from this pack. It's John Tavares. And a base young gun, first base young gun of this box, Scott Morrow. We got Oliver Ekman-Larsson, checkpoint. And some base. There's a canvas Dylan Gunther, who is off to a great start to this season. Nikita Kucherov, breaking news. And then DeBrincat and Larkin again. Probably going to start moving past some of these inserts a little quicker too. Just to try and keep the time down. So what do we got here? Marc-Andre Fleury, young gun renewed. Our second Joshua Roy young gun, so that's our first duplicate young gun. We got Philip Forsberg portrait. There we go. And a Brad Marchand, breaking news. POV, FOV, Jack Hughes. And an aimbot, Artemi Panarin. Another. I've found Koroshev base a number of times. So I'm assuming, you know what, actually, I didn't actually look at the checklist. It's very possible that Bedard's base is not even in Series 1. Because they got to save some for Series 2. Here's a black and white canvas, Bobby Brink. Second year, unfortunately. It would be nice to have a rookie, but the black and white canvas looks very nice this year. And then here's a base UD canvas, Kirill Marchenko right behind it. And a young gun, Cameron Crotty. There you go, Connor Bedard base. So it is in fact in Series 1. Pretty nice shot. His first flagship base card. City Satellites Austin Matthews. Speckled, I think. And a Landon Slaggert, young gun. Tim Stützle portrait. I can go back to not paying attention to these base, thank you. And we got a Speckled Gaming PvP, Mitch Marner and Cole Caulfield. Regular PvP, Zetterlund and Eichel. And then an aimbot Draisaitl. Down to our last 4 packs. Still need one of these renewed Young Guns. Still need, I'm sure, at least 1 or 2 base Young Guns. There's a canvas, Darcy Kemper. And a John Carlson Young Gun renewed. And a Bradley Nadeau Young Gun. So that's another guy near the top of the Young Gun list, probably. Playing out of Carolina, though, so we'll see if he gets hobby love. New Ottawa Center, Linus Ullmark. Get back soon. We need you. We've got an A-Lines, Robertson, Wyatt Johnson, and Tyler Seguin. It's a pretty good line. Gaming Co-op, Aho and Sergachev. Oh, sorry, Svechnikov, not Sergachev. And then Nikita Kucherov, which we saw already, Tampa Bay. 2 more packs. We've got our second deluxe, and it is a vet again. Now, I also noticed on the last one, but now I can see with this card it's the same. So this is Brock Faber, but that name is completely unreadable on the deluxe. For some reason, they don't use the same silver script as on the base. And I just happen to know that that's Brock Faber. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who this card was. I guess you can see on the back there. All right. And a Brad Lambert Young Gun behind it. And then Esa Lindell checkpoint. Base. Last pack. 3 boxes in for our 24-25 season. Good progress on the Young Guns. Only 1 duplicate so far. And no duplicates in the... I'm hoping I don't see any duplicates in the entire case of the Young Gun Renewed, because I shouldn't even get a full set. But we will see. Chris Kreider Dazzler. A Braden Shen Canvas. And Quentin Byfield XP. Somehow I have ended up with the XP insert in the last pack of all 3 boxes. Not sure how. All right, everyone. So that is what 24-25 Series 1 hockey looks like this year. Like I said, throughout, it's pretty standard flagship set, but no real concerns here for me. I like the look of the Young Guns. I like the look of the base. And I personally really like these Young Gun Renewed. So I think it's a good season for Upper Deck. And I'm glad to get away from the Connor Bedard pricing and pay a little less this year. All right, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, if you want to see the rest of the case, if you just like seeing hockey card sets reviewed before you decide whether or not to buy them yourself, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back soon with more. Until next time, thanks for watching.